Hey friends, how are we all doing? What am I doing today? I don't know, I'm deciding between more movement tests and just finishing up the coloring on Splinter's face, because he's almost done, like I'm almost done with his animation. I won't be streaming for very long today, I'm feeling a little under the weather, but I just wanted to make sure that I stream at least once a week. And I'm trying to get this done, so excuse me. We will see how this goes. I think, let's just do something fun. Let's do a quick movement test with Splinter, and I can show like how I set up a scene and everything. And then once I'm done with the sketch, I'll go get some rest. Hello. How are y'all doing? Let's see, import. So I think I've gone over how I set up a scene usually, but I'll just do it again. So when I start a new project, especially if I'm working on a project not in my like personal art style, even if I am, I usually will drop in an image of the character, typically either the 3/4 or the profile, like turnaround view, and I work with that kind of side by side with the animation. It really helps stay on model. So let's see, the one that I have for Splinter right now, excuse me, the one I have for Splinter right now is this one. Yeah. So I'm just gonna move this off to the side. I'm gonna shrink him down a little bit just so I have enough room. And then the other thing I tend to do is bring out the lines a little bit more. So I'll use this one. So that way now I have a decent starting point. I think I'm also going to drop in a line below his torso and at the bottom of his belt, as well as on his knee. And I think that'll be okay. So let me take this layer down. So I wanted to test the way his legs are going to move. So the easiest way I think to do that is with a kick. So I'll just start him. I think there's a lot less of that bend that we see. Hello! Yeah, my stream schedule's been a little weird. I just started a new job and so I don't have the same schedule each week. But I'm glad you were finally able to join. I have to look for a reference of his leg without the pants. There we go. Because that's what I want to be testing anyway. Yippee! Okay. Okay, so his leg is like this. I think it might need to be simplified a little bit. We'll see. I don't understand this shape, I think is the problem. So, I mean, if we think about the leg as if he were a human, right? Thank you. It's a very, like, it's a warehouse job, so it's very physically demanding, but it's been nice so far. Don't worry, I was really late to stream today. I had to postpone it about half an hour, but I'm here for now. But if we think about this leg like a human leg, this upper part is his thigh, and so this would be his knee. This lower portion here is the calf, and then his whole foot, because he is, I believe, digitigrade. I think that's what we're going for, which means that he walks on his toes and not his whole foot. So like the turtles are plantigrade, so they plant their foot, the whole foot, heel and toe, on the ground, but Splinter is digitigrade, so he walks on his digits, his toes. So this is actually his heel back here. And so if I draw this from the other side, can I recreate the same shape, is the question. So he has a pretty big thigh, and like you would need a large muscle there to pull the leg. Then we have the knee and the calf. And then what is essentially the foot, and then his paws, his toes. Okay, yeah, that's recreatable. I think I've given it a much sharper bend than he actually has. We'll see how that works for motion if I make his leg a little bit shallower. But yeah, I mean, the whole point of today is to come up with a test that shows how his legs move. So, let me set this to hold. So I actually want to, let's see. I draw him. I'm trying to think of the best way to show this, like where to start from, because that's how you, like planning out an animation, pose to pose, just is part of figuring out where to start. I really like digitigrade characters. I think you're right, like it is a really good mix between human and non-human. I'm just trying to understand the way that his leg bends. Let's see. Well, let's just start with stick figures, right? Like, I won't even try and make it look like Splinter. I'm just going to have the basic shapes. And then I'll vary his leg here. Honestly, I think the digitigrade legs, and especially like ungulagrade, which is like hooves and stuff, they look so like graceful and controlled. I think it definitely fits his personality to be digitigrade and then keep the turtles plantigrade. Ow. So I'm just going to block out in basic stick figures like the motion that I want. Because there's no sense in like trying to draw him perfectly if I don't understand like what I'm gonna be doing. So then I definitely want him to shift his weight. So all of the weight's gonna go to this foot. This foot is going to draw up. Actually don't know if this is a large enough change to read, so let's exaggerate this a little bit. I'll probably mess around with the leg shape. So far it looks good. I think I might simplify this back, like tuft here. I'm thinking that it's just a little too much visual information for such an important shape. But it could just be because I'm unfamiliar with it, not necessarily that it needs to be changed. So we will see. Yay, you get to watch the stream. It seems to me that Tuesday is a better time for a lot of people, because I've seen a few messages like that today. So I'm almost wondering if I should change my stream day to Tuesday. If my work schedule allows it. Or is today when? No, today's Tuesday. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, he has really similar legs to my character Sappho. So that'll be cool. Oh, nice! He came out really good. I like the way that his face is looking. You have a really nice sense of volume, by the way. I hope you know that. Ooh, I'll make sure to put you in the description then. Let me just alter that real quick. Dun, 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 dun. Wish there was an easier way to edit it. Okay, there we go. There we go. Oh, all good, all good. Let me nab that Twitter link real quick. Dun, 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 dun. Not yet. Let me check. Is your Twitter the same as your YouTube? Oh, never mind. I just got it. Copy link. Okay, that should be updated. Cool. So yeah, if you guys want to go check out the artist who did the Splinter turnaround, the link to its Twitter is in the description. Excuse me, my god. And then let's see. So the proportions on that leg are probably off, which is fine. I'm going to be fixing it later. Like I said, right now I'm really focused on the action, and then on my second pass is when I start to work on making sure proportions are correct. And there's different ways to do that, of course. Like, I definitely know people who would rather get the proportion down first and then do the animation like at the same time, but I definitely like to do one and then the other. And this is gonna be a fun, like, rotate. Oh my god, hi Kit! How are you doing? I was actually standing up and doing this, like, earlier today to make sure that this motion is actually possible. And I can guarantee you it is. Foot needs to rotate in order to balance. In fact, I just want to go with a straight line, and then I can figure it out later. And I want him to tuck his head in this way. You are your own best reference, to be honest. Although one time in college we had to do this assignment that was like a jump. So we had to make our chosen character jump and then land on the ground in some way. And we were shooting live action reference, and I decided that I wanted to have my character like jump and not land, like actually fall over. And I broke my wrist because I dove headfirst into concrete, thinking that that was a fantastic idea. So when you're using yourself as reference, be careful and don't be dumb. So that will be... The nice thing about digitigrade legs is that the proportion between his thigh and calf is so good that like you really can get a nice like compression or like squash, and then so like on the return here, and actually I think even here like I could do a lot more with this leg. He can really bunch up his leg. Oh yeah, he has enhanced mobility, so he can really bunch up his leg because the more contrast you have in animation, so like in this one he's going to be very bunched up, and then there's a big like explosion here. The more contrast you can get, the better your animation will be, because like that is how you get away with not drawing so many frames, is big contrast. so did I... Oh, I used the take for my reference, but then I animated it, and when you see the animation, I don't think I have it on my computer, but I've posted it on my Instagram like a long time ago. When you see the animation, you'll know exactly how I hurt myself. Like, I'll send it to you later, Kit, and you're gonna be like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen a human being do. Okay, so yeah, I definitely want him to pull his leg. The only issue is that this does not read very well, so maybe I have him kind of already starting to turn, because ideally, like, we're able to see the leg bunched up on this side. So this is his knee, his calf and foot, and then so I want to keep the line of action moving upwards from this foot, so I'm gonna try and keep his foot here. Yeah, so that's already starting to look better. I think I could probably bring his leg over more like this. Yeah, so that... And maybe we can make this like a much shallower move. Since we have... This is a very clear, obvious pose. I think this frame, we can definitely linger on him bringing his foot up. Since we already have this. Okay, so that'll do. And then on the recovery, we don't need to show the leg in silhouette as much because we already know that he kicked, right? The purpose of showing the leg in silhouette is to set up the idea that he's going to kick. He's already kicked. We don't need to show the leg again. We can kind of tuck it closer to his body now. And actually what I should do first is grab this first frame and put it at the end here. And I should draw the last I should draw the last pose before I try this. I almost want him to, after kick, after he kicks, I almost want him to, like... No, I should have him settle down because the whole point is, what does his legs look like in movement? So I should have him settle, I didn't finish my thought, sorry. I should have him settle facing this way with both legs somewhat bent. In fact, I almost want him in cat stance. I think that would be really fun. Well, A, because he's a rat, and B, because it'll show off the way that his feet bend a lot more. So I have like little notes to myself, and I know what they mean. So they're different for everybody, but when I draw this arrow with a bunch of lines, I'm telling myself that I want to increase the amount of force that's being put on this leg, because obviously right now I'm in really rough sketches. And cat stance is usually like this. One. I almost want to make this leg like completely straight up and down. And then we can keep the pose open like that. Oh my gosh! I mean, Kit, we do have the same brain, so I'm not surprised. But also, geez. Here, let me... I know exactly where the video... Excuse me, not the live action version. Kit, I am sending you this on Instagram. You can see exactly how I hurt my wrist. Wow, I used to draw so often. Now I post maybe once a week, maybe like once a month if I'm lucky. Alright, oh, okay, so now that I drew this last pose, I have a solid like end pose, and I can keep the volume, because I'm trying to stay within the bounds of oh my gosh, I keep ending my sentences before they're done. I'm trying to stay within the bounds of the proportions. But obviously I'm not being 100% perfect about it. So I think he can actually stretch up just a little bit here. I think here as well. Because I'm almost saying that, like, as he's standing, he's stretching. Yeah. It shouldn't be too extreme. Okay, so here's my starting frame, and then let's see if the timing works. So I can adjust the timing a little bit more. When you're animating at 24, which is the standard, it takes about 8 frames for the like eye and mind to register what's going on. So whenever you have a starting frame, you typically want to go to 8 and then extend a little bit more. I'm going to keep it at 15, which is a little more than half a second. And then he can start moving up. And this is going to be a very slow motion, so I'm probably going to stick this at about 20. Very slow into this pose here. This pose is going to hold for quite a while and then like snap out very quickly. I'll put it at 8 for now, but I'm probably going to move this pose inwards and really like slow out of that pose. This is going to be very fast, but I need it to read, so let's go about 6, which is fine. This is going to be another like slow in, so we're going to slow into this pose from this one. It's going to be quite long. I want to say it'll be about 16. And then this settle is also going to be a while. Probably a whole second. I'll set it at 24. So, and this timing you learn, as you animate more, you'll learn like how much time each action needs. I had the advantage of starting or like learning how to animate on paper, so like I couldn't play back my animation immediately, so you just kind of you learn very quickly. how long actions take. So yeah. It looks about good. And then I'm just gonna add some notes to myself because I really want this foot to like kind of arc around as he's bringing it up. I think that would be nice. And then I want his foot to bend inward before he starts to move his body up. Okay, so now that I have my base done, I almost want to drop my in-betweens in there as well. This whole opening needs to hold for 8, so 3. Oh wait, I have to add 3, so technically here. So about frame 12 or so it could start moving. I'm just gonna like tween it for now. So I want him to move this way. So that's called an anticipation, which is moving, or it's not necessarily moving opposite, but an anticipation is basically like anticipating your next move or your next big pose shift by clearly outlining the action. Typically that's done by moving in the opposite direction, but not always. It's like when the best example that someone ever told me is if you want to have a character reach into their pocket, you should anticipate the into the pocket by having their arm like clearly up above their head, ready to grab. Move the arm into the pocket. Then, it's just a clarity thing. Or a really good rule of anticipation is before your character turns their head, have them blink or close their eyes. So for this one, I'm going to have his weight shift just ever so slightly. And his head will start to move down, which is another form of anticipation. And then we're slowing into this pose, and I want to do it at quite an extreme level. This frame is technically a breakdown, it's not really a key. But since I'm just gonna refer to it as a key, let's really favor this up pose here, which is frame 39. I really want to favorite, so what I'm going to do is probably around 23 is going to be the halfway frame. So it's halfway in terms of drawings, but not in terms of number. Obviously, halfway between 19 and 39 is not 23. But it is the middle kind of drawing, and like I said, I wanted to have that foot rotate around. So what I'll do is I will start to turn the foot outward. And then also remembering that the leg is not going to bunch up immediately. The thigh is the trunk of the action, and it's going to pull the calf and foot along with it. So I wouldn't really draw this frame already bunched like this. I'm definitely going to delay the foot and calf. And then I'm going to have his body travel in an arc. So he's leaning back, and in order to lean forward, he should go up, which is, again, another anticipation. So lean back and now kind of bring his chest up. Because even though the thigh is technically driving the action of the leg, his torso and core is pulling his whole, like, action along with it. I'm also going to tuck in his head. And so this is going to be a really slow in. So I'm going to slowly move from here to here, which is called a slow in. And that is shown on a timing chart. So if I go 23, and 23 is our breakdown. But if I represented it like this, so 19 to 39, again, my drawing halfway is here. It's 23, even though, like I said, 23 is not the halfway number, it's just the halfway drawing. I want to slow in. So slow in. And so the next halfway drawing, which is represented on our line, is actually going to be 25. And the next halfway drawing will be 27. And then 29, and so on and so forth. And so it's going to get closer and closer and closer to 39 until 37 and 39 would basically be on top of each other. That's for cinematic animation. Since this is going to be TV, I might be able to get away with doing 3s or even 4s. So maybe my next half drawing will be 27, and then 31, and then 35. But we'll see. Because I am putting a lot, like some more frames into the tests just because I want them to be really clear, but we'll see. Sometimes it's more helpful to draw an arc on the body. Like I know when I was learning, I would like put a dot there, and then I would like put a dot here. Because I know I want the leg to move in a circle there. You typically want to avoid moving in a straight line. But I kind of want to move in a big S curve like this. So again, this is going to be 23. This is 19, and this is 39. So it might be more helpful to draw your timing chart like this. So obviously my 25 is going to be here, 27, 29, and then get closer and closer and closer. Yeah, that's a slow in, and that's a timing chart as well. They are very helpful, especially when you're not the only animator. I'll just test one out on 27 just to see what that looks like. So like I said, I want that foot to move outwards in a circle and loop around. I think it's a really nice motion. The chest will settle. And I think, so with in-betweens and stuff, we now really want to favor this pose, because you kind of want to snap out of this compression. And so what I'm actually going to do is just move him ever so slightly so that it's not too jarring. I'm going to tuck his head this way. We're going to be a little anatomically incorrect here. Like, I genuinely don't think it's possible to get your leg up that high. But that's what's gonna work. And then, yeah, he can snap. And we might need a smear frame. Or, I don't think I'll need a full-on smear frame, but I might use like a stretch frame, which is similar to a smear frame. Actually, sometimes it's the exact same. It just depends on who you talk to. And then with this one, I said I wanted to start bringing the leg in already. Another form of anticipation, I'm going to bend his knee here. Well, I don't know if it's anticipation or if it's just like general weight shift. But he would have to shift his weight forward in order to bring that leg back. And that's what's going to allow us to start bringing this body upwards. The body is going to move upwards slower than the leg is coming in. Just kind of offsetting that motion. Yeah. So that kind of snaps up, so I will extend this a little bit. I think I could get a drawing or two more in here, especially because I wanted to slow into this position. And then this is going to be a really, really tight slow in. So, cat stance, for those of you who don't know, you basically put all your weight on your back foot and your front foot is barely touching the ground. So what I'm going to do is, obviously all of the weight is still on this foot, but not as much as I want it to be. It's going to come forward with this foot. And really going to be turning very slowly. And I'll bring his hand up, still kind of in a fist. And tuck his face downwards. Again, he has a snout, so the direction of his head is really important to think about. And it can also be like a really good tool in showing more motion. So here. And then when he settles, it's going to be his torso and head will kind of drag behind like this. And that leg is really gonna come and sit, yeah. That leg is really gonna sit down. Again, I'm probably going to exaggerate the, like, you have some really nice shapes in here. I think in order to show off that his knee is bent, I'm really going to exaggerate these shapes. Like this, almost. In fact, I think this frame is off. Should be much lower. If his leg is bent, his torso should, or his waist should not be in the same place as it is when he's standing upright. So this is standing upright. You know, his knee is starting to bend. His waist is relatively at the same place as when he's standing. I want this foot to come forward to really have it be clear that he is not putting any weight on that front foot. And then this frame should almost be the same as the last frame. You know, no weight on this front foot. Maybe I'll have him sink a little lower in an overshoot. So that's that open hand. Especially because I now want this hand to start moving. To turn outward. So I've lost the timing a little bit, and that's okay, I can always adjust it. But so far it looks pretty good. He definitely can hold after the kick a little bit more. I mean, that will come more apparent when I have the slow-ins in place. But, I think this is going to be a pretty good test for how his leg works. I know I've only been streaming for an hour, but like I said, I'm not feeling too hot right now. So I'm probably going to call it. I'm almost done coloring the splinter animation. I think it's just his mouth, and then I forgot what color this upper part of his nose was. I think it's just the same color as his nose, but meant to ask if it's a gradient. Otherwise, it'll be done. I'm hoping by the end of the day after I take a nap. But yeah, this splinter animation is going to be really good, I think, for testing how his legs work. I think his legs are fine. All I have to do is just exaggerate the shapes when they're bent properly, and we'll be fine. So yeah, thank you. Oh gosh, I really need to oil that. But thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out. I know. Oh yeah, so you haven't seen it. He's almost finished. The only thing that isn't colored is the. Oh, well, wait, I colored those last night. What happened? Well, he was fully colored, and now he isn't. I might have just opened the wrong version of the file. But the only thing that isn't done is the inside of his mouth. And his tail is colored. I guess the layer is just not on right now. And then I just have to adjust Leo's colors because I did them wrong last time. It's a gradient, okay. I might have to track that on in After Effects because gradients... Well, I'll figure it out. Yeah, he's almost... What happened? Oh, maybe I opened the wrong version. Well, he was almost finished, and now it's fine. I mean, it takes like 2 seconds to go back and do the face markings. How odd. What the hell? Anyway, I'll finish that up. I don't know what happened. Maybe, again, I think I just opened the wrong version. And then, I will be working on, let's see, when do I have work next? I have work tomorrow. Do I have work on Thursday? My next stream will likely be Saturday, or no, sorry, Friday, or Thursday after work. I will schedule it on YouTube. Hopefully I'm feeling better. I think I'm just like fighting off something right now. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. I'll get the Splinter animation working on. Nope, no thoughts. Head empty. Head completely empty. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys later. Nope, where's my outro? There it is.